fair, which was just a little place where they were selling stuff to raise money for the place where the professors took their kids. And I was out of crystalline eyeshadow. And thank goodness we still sell crystalline eyeshadow, because that definitely is not an outdated product, right? I was out of crystalline eyeshadow. So I went over there and I met Nancy, and I signed up for a makeover contest. And she called me on the phone a few days later, and she was just talking about how she was in Mary Kay, or of course she's in Mary Kay, she was on Target for her car, and she was super excited, and had I ever thought about doing anything like this? And I think she just talked and I just listened. And I went up at her house a few days later, and she taught me how, she got me all in on Mary Kay skincare. Now, I had used Mary Kay hit and miss in the past, and when I showed up that day, like Kim said her skin was, my forehead was all broke out. And what got me all in on the product, and even made me consider the opportunity, was the fact that the next morning, after I learned how to use the products correctly, my skin was better. It wasn't perfect, but it was better. And so we do sell an amazing product that people fall in love with each and every day. And it's the gateway to everything else that Mary Kay has to offer, is our skincare. And so that's why I love this all-in challenge to put skincare on new faces, because throughout my career, that simple activity has brought me everything that I have in my life today by adding new skincare customers. And so I hope you'll embrace that here before you leave this weekend. So I purchased what I didn't have, and she said to me that day, she asked what I was going to be doing when I graduated, and I had shared with her that I had thought about kind of going into sales, and it was only because I had figured out that people in sales made about the best money, had about the most flexible schedule. I was going to graduate college in 6 months, and I wasn't going to go to grad school, like I was done with school, and so I decided that sales was going to be like what I was going to do. But I didn't want to be an arm twister. That was the last thing I wanted to be like. I didn't want to be a pushy salesperson talking into somebody, talking people into stuff. And so when my face was better after a day, and Nancy said, "What, have you ever thought about doing anything like this? Why would you work for yourself when you can work for somebody else?" I thought, aha, like this product works. She didn't twist my arm. I wanted to look better, you know? And so I was all in. And she sent me home with a tape of National Sales Director Linda Tupin, who's become one of my biggest mentors and teachers in this business, and I so appreciate you for that. And on that tape, Linda said, if you're teachable and coachable and trainable, then you could learn to do what we do. And you guys, we have such a gift in this Mary Kay opportunity, and I think sometimes, even including myself, we make it too complicated. Because all Nancy said to me was, why should you work for somebody else when you can work for yourself? And all Linda said on the CD, that's not all she said, but she said, if you're teachable and coachable and trainable, you could do this. And so I believe them, right? Do we say those things to people enough? Probably not. And are you believing that for yourself? Are you believing that for yourself? I believe them. And I started Mary Kay with a vision to make this my career. Instead of taking a job someplace else, I was going to do Mary Kay. I grew up in a little town on a farm out in East Central Indiana, and I thought this would be perfect. I don't have to commute to Indianapolis. I can live right here. I realized that my parents had always been around because they were farmers. They were working, but I could find them if I needed them, and it was just a great lifestyle. And so I wrote a check the night that I was in an event with where Linda Tupin was the guest speaker. I wrote a check for $100 that I didn't have. I gave it to Nancy so she could order my starter kit. I called my mom and I said, I'm going to do Mary Kay and I need to borrow $100 to cover the check I just wrote. And lovingly and luckily she said, okay, and so she lent me $100, which I think I paid back. She never told me if I didn't, so that's not on me, I don't think. I guess you gotta tell people when they owe you money. And now she's one of my offspring sales directors and a multiple National Court of Sales achiever. And so she gets to do this business with me. And have you heard about the new promotion that Mary Kay's doing over the next 3 months where you can promote yourself and you can earn a beautiful red jacket and move into leadership? Have you heard about that? Yes, I love the Red Jacket Rally. And one reason it's near and dear to my heart is because the same mom who loaned me $100 joined my team on June 30th when I needed a third person to earn my red jacket. So let's not make it too hard. If you haven't recruited your mom yet, then there's number one. Or your daughter. And I'm serious about that though, because when I came to my first career conference, I fell in love with the company on a higher and bigger, better level. And I remember sitting there thinking, I want my mom to do this. But I just like had this foggy thinking about it that I couldn't really see why she would need to or want to. And so I did the best thing I knew how, is I had been giving her a discount, which I do not advocate, and I went downstairs it was actually like June 28th, because we had to send things through the mail at that time. And I said, if you still want your discount, you have to sign up. Here's the paper. And so she signed up to be my third team member. So here's what I mean is this is such, Kim just told you about her daughters doing this business with her, and it's so fun to do together. And it gives us, we have a great relationship, but it gives us more things to do. So don't forget to ask your family members that you're closest to. It's the highest form of flattery to want somebody to be in Mary Kay with you and to want to do life with them. So fast forward, a year after I graduated, I earned my car, became a sales director, and the first year, I earned my pink Cadillac on my 24th birthday. And what I want to talk to you about right now is I hope that you have a vision for, not only for your business, but for your life. What developed in me that day that I listened to Nancy and I listened to Linda on the Choices tape, and the more training I went to, is that I fell in love with Linda's lifestyle, and I wanted that lifestyle. And so that became a dream of mine. And in my dream book I created over the years, and goal posters, I put pictures of things I wanted to do, be, have. And if you have not done that, I hope you'll do the same thing. Or if you have one and it's gathered dust, I hope you'll dust it off. This year, thanks to my Mary Kay business, I realized that everything that I had put in that dream book had come true. Everything. It was topped off by the brand new house that we moved into on December, 30th, right after Christmas, that had every amenity that we had dreamed about. Thank you, Mary Kay. Woo! So it's time to dream new dreams, and I've already started, and I have some, but just like Nancy and Linda put a thought and belief in my mind and in my heart, I hope that today, as I stand here representing my incredible $1 million unit, I want you to know that you can do it too. I built $1 million unit in a little town of 700 people in Spiceland, Indiana, that spans, across the United States and all over Indiana, but it's not magical. This is a skill-based business, and when you take the skills that we learn and you put them into practice and you put it on repeat over and over and over again, you can do this too. You can build the exact same success or exceed it that I built out of my hometown on your street, in your hometown. And in fact, we need you to do that. Our company needs more leaders in Mary Kay. We need people to step up and represent our company and teach others how to build a successful business. And so I hope that when you build your dream book and you focus on your goals for the next 3 months, promoting yourself and sharing the opportunity is at the top of your list. The biggest mistake I think you can make over the next 3 months is shooting too small. There's a lot that you can do when you work your business consistently, so don't shoot too small. Will it be the promotion of a new red jacket? I don't know if you knew this or not. Somebody else pointed this out to me, and I'm embarrassed to say that I didn't catch it. But Mary, you can go on a free vacation with Mary Kay this quarter as a 7,800 level star consultant. Did you know that? Now, when my consultants make dream books and they bring them to me, a lot of the things that they put in there are about travel. I mean, who loves to travel? Who loves to travel for free? Yes. So at the 7,800 level, there is a 1-week vacation that you can earn for your family as a star consultant. Why not set a goal to be a higher star than you've ever been, or win that vacation? And we kind of are deciding and arguing that we could all go to the same place together. I mean, you don't have to if you want to go someplace different, but we're going to win lots of vacations so you could go. So I want to talk about that for just a minute, because I want you to think about, it does not take as much effort as you probably think. Now, you could sell your way to 7,800 wholesale as a star consultant level, and there are people who will do that. Or you could put both oars in the water of selling and sharing the opportunity, and become a Pearl Star at 4,800 and add 5 new qualified team members by sharing the opportunity and hit the same goal with 3,000 bonus points. When you go all in and you're putting skincare on new faces, then you have lots of people to share the opportunity. People who are freshly excited about the product and the difference it's making in their skin. And so that is where skincare on new faces boils down to. I forgot to tell you this. The year that I became a sales director, when I went from consultant to sales director, the company had a challenge to add 100 new skincare customers in a year. And I took that challenge. And my whole business that year revolved around, who else can I get to try the skincare? Who else can I get to try the skincare? Oh, she hasn't tried the skincare with me, or you know what I mean? And so I added 100 new skincare customers that year. Sound familiar? All in, skincare on new faces, right? How do you add 100 new skincare customers? You put skincare on 100 new faces, at least, and you go all in with the all-in challenge. And then when you share the opportunity with people, you are making such a difference. One of the imperatives is to be all in, that Mary Kay is, direct sales and Mary Kay specifically is the great way to change people's lives. The power of direct sales to change people's lives. That's what I'm trying to say. The power of Mary Kay and direct sales to change people's lives. And I want you to think about that for just a minute. Did you realize that in order for a woman in corporate America to make an extra $300 a month, she already has to be making $120,000 a year and get a 3% raise? To make an extra $300 in a month with a Mary Kay business, you have to spend roughly 6 hours doing 3 parties at $200 a piece. More doable? Yes. For a woman in corporate America to make an extra $1,000 a month, she needs to already be earning $400,000 a year and then have a 4% raise. To make an extra $1,000 a month in Mary Kay, that's 10 parties. And for some of you who have a big customer base, it's not even that, thanks to residual income. So corporate America does not change people's lives. Direct selling and Mary Kay can change people's lives. Do you agree? Yes. So it's up to us to pass it on. We have this gift in our hand that we can pass on to people and work for the next 3 months. It's a win-win for your family and for other women and their families out there who need you. So are you all in with me?
Yes.
All right, thank you.